Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2, full time at St James's Park, and we won the game, and that is what matters at the end of the day. 3 consecutive wins under Unai Emery. We only managed that twice last season under Wenger. 2 consecutive wins away from home, which we didn't manage at all last season. That's what you've got to look at, and we've managed now the same. Well, I mean, half of the away wins we got last season. We only won 4 away from home last season. We've got 2 this season. That is the first thing I want to say. A lot of people looking at our performance negatively in the first half, saying, "Oh, Arsenal aren't changing from last season. We're lacking an identity." Well, last season, you know, the amount of away games we've lost. We've now won 2 away from home. 2 difficult games. Cardiff, very difficult game, very physical. Should have been easier than it was, but we got the win, something which we may not have done last season. This game, a very difficult game, very lacklustre in the first half, but we won the game. And away from home, we're showing a bit more steel. You know, I mean, people complaining about performance now, but people complaining last season that we were losing games, but this season we're winning games, and people are still complaining about our performance. Yes, first half we were very poor, but second half I think we were completely in control, and it was a very comfortable performance. We were very close to that clean sheet. We couldn't quite get it. Conceding that late goal made the last minute or so quite nervy. But going into the game, I think Lucas Torreira's absence from the starting 11 angered a lot of people. For me as well, I was a bit like, he keeps coming on, he keeps making a difference. Why is he not getting the start? But I think Unai Emery, I'm trying to sort of see what the reason is for a lot of Unai Emery's decisions, which I think, I'm not really sure about that. And I feel like there is reasons, and I think he's just trying to ease Lucas Torreira into the Premier League. I mean, you look at Guendouzi, and he's sort of, you could say the same thing for him, but Torreira's come from Serie A. It's not as physical there. It's a bit of a different game. It's a bit more quick. I think Torreira can cope with it. We've shown that he's been brilliant, but also had a knock from the international break. He picked up an injury against Mexico, a slight knock, so it shouldn't have been really a problem, but maybe he was just a bit cautious. Brought him on only to play 45 minutes. Surely he will start against Everton, because once again he made a difference. The rest of the team I think was kind of standard. I think some people were slightly annoyed about Ozil being put on the right, but he didn't really actually play on the right. It was more Ramsey put on the right and Ozil playing centrally. In fact, I saw Ramsey on the left quite a lot, which was kind of strange because Aubameyang was also there, and Ozil was playing quite centrally, so maybe everything was just shifted towards the left-hand side, and it was maybe just allowing Bellerin to provide the width on the right-hand side. But first half we were very poor, didn't create anything. We were relatively neat on the ball in the middle of the park, but when we got into the final third there wasn't much going for us. Lacazette wasn't as good as he was last week. He worked very hard, but his movement and his hold-up play wasn't quite as good. I think he was playing against some very physical centre-halves in Lascelles and Clark, who was sort of minimising him. Aubameyang out wide, couldn't really get into the game. He was playing against Yedlin, who's also very quick, so he couldn't really use his pace as much. There was 1 or 2 times in the first half where he did try and get him behind, but it didn't quite materialise. But yeah, we didn't really create much. Newcastle offered a little bit of a threat, but I didn't really ever feel at any point that we were, looking like we were going to concede. Petr Cech, again, looks a bit uncomfortable. He still looks uncomfortable on the ball. Nothing too hazardous this time. One thing I would like to point out about that, actually, very early on, he kicked the ball off the pitch. I mean, kind of like he did against City, but it was not quite the same situation. But Mustafi plays it into him, and he just kicks it off the pitch. He tries to play it back to Mustafi, but he just couldn't get his footing right, and there was a poor pass. After that, in the first half, a lot of the times he decided to go long. It looked like he was just a bit fed up of having to play that. Maybe that is a problem for Unai Emery. Maybe he does have to look at Bernd Leno. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. A lot of people are saying it. I think we should give Leno a chance. Not just in the... we'll see him play probably against Vorskla on Thursday, but I'd like to see him given a chance in the Premier League, maybe against Everton. But you can't really fault Cech for his performance today. Other than that, he went long and he made 1 good save. In fact, he only had to make 1 save in the full 90 minutes. Which was a header just before they scored, actually, right near the end. It was a decent save, but then he didn't really have much chance with the Newcastle goal. But yeah, in the second half, we started the second half with much more intent, much more incisiveness in the final third. Lucas Torreira came on, much more urgency in that midfield, and it really... a lot of people have been criticising Granit Xhaka. I've been trying to stick up for him, and it is hard when he makes mistakes like that pass he did against Cardiff, but you could really see he was liberated when Lucas Torreira came on. It gave him a bit more freedom, it took a weight off his shoulder defensively. and he was allowed to express himself a bit more in his passing, and he got into dangerous areas, and he obviously I think it was Torreira who played the ball into Aubameyang and got tripped with a free kick. Brilliant free kick from Granit Xhaka. That's what he's capable of from dead ball situations, from long range sort of areas. He's got that in his locker to produce a brilliant strike like that. It was a brilliant free kick. Dubravka got a hand to it, but he didn't really have any chance. And then just a few minutes later, well, about 8-9 minutes later, when he provided, he was very much involved in the second goal, playing a very nice 1-2 with Monreal, cutting the ball back to Lacazette. Lacazette's shot is blocked into Ozil. It's a very calm finish from Mesut Ozil into the bottom corner. Again, Dubravka got a hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out. And yeah, it was a very encouraging second half performance. I thought we were totally in control of the game. As soon as we got that first goal, we looked liberated as a team, but Granit Xhaka really impressed me after that moment. He looked so much better alongside Torreira. He's got someone who can do more of the running for him, someone who will track back more, who will make interceptions, will make tackles, will harry the Newcastle's, the opposition's attacking midfielder or whoever's playing in there. And it gave Xhaka a bit of a license to express himself more. Mesut Ozil as well, I was impressed with. He got to play in the number 10 role. And I wasn't really sure whether he was meant to be playing on the right or in the number 10, but we saw him constantly popping up in those central areas, trying to link play, and he was probably our best attacking player in the second half. Aaron Ramsey sort of shifted out to the left and right. I was kind of confused by Ramsey's performance today. It wasn't Ramsey's best performance. He kept giving the ball away, but he was trying to bring his urgency, but he didn't really get into these scoring positions. Maybe it was because he was shifted out wide, something I'm not really fond of, but yeah, second half, I was just impressed with the way we controlled the game. We didn't see that a lot last season. It looked like we were sort of on the ropes. We couldn't really get a grip. Sometimes we were very much under the cosh away from home, with the hostile atmosphere around us, and we couldn't really get out. I remember games like that last season, the games that come to mind, Swansea away, Watford away, when we were very poor. This game, totally in control after we scored the first goal. Newcastle very rarely threatened until the late stages when they had that Joselu header with the Petr save, and then they got the other goal. So overall, it was a pretty convincing victory in the end. I mean, not convincing, but comfortable. We were very rare. I know there was a lack of Newcastle threat, but I thought we controlled the game brilliantly, and a lot of that was down to the presence of Lucas Torreira in there, who made Granit Xhaka a lot better. And it allowed our front players to express themselves a bit. Lacazette was better in the second half, holding the ball up. Aubameyang still couldn't really get into the game. But we're yet to see the best of Aubameyang this season. Mkhitaryan came on, didn't have that big an impact, but Welbeck came on, looked very energetic, almost scored a couple times. I think it was one time when he went through and goal. Sort of had to pull it wide and hit the side netting. Good professional second half performance. We won the game. That is what matters. Something we couldn't do last season. Doesn't matter if we play well away from home. I want to see better performances at home, but I don't think we were as good against Cardiff going forward, but we were much more solid defensively. Newcastle didn't pose the same threat that Cardiff did. Cardiff were very physical, playing long balls. Newcastle didn't really provide anything until those late stages. And yeah, we were a bit sloppy with that goal, but yeah, that was quite annoying. We were looking to get our first clean sheet, looking to improve our goal difference, and we conceded that. Sloppy defending at the end, but we won the game. Looking at individuals, I thought both our fullbacks were quite good defensively. I think they were better defensively than they were against Cardiff, but didn't really offer the same width and just threat going forward. Mustafi and Socrates, again, it's hard to judge them. I think they looked better again in the second half when they had Lucas Torreira in front of them doing a lot more defensive work, with Granit Xhaka and Guendouzi don't really do that. They were much better defensively, and yeah, all round it was a very good performance. Very good result. Obviously, you look at Tottenham, had the similar sort of game at Newcastle. Chelsea sat very deep, tried to frustrate Newcastle sat very deep against Chelsea, tried to frustrate Chelsea, but Chelsea came out on top. 2-1. Man City again given a very difficult game against them, 2-1. So they've lost all those games 2-1. So if we are comparing to the other big teams, it's a similar sort of performance. So I think we've got to look at it and as a positive. And we almost won the game 2-0. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next game when we play Vorskla or in the next TWIF. Thanks.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I even if I try. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm.